Welcome everybody. I am César Vargas. I work as a senior iOS engineer in Spring, now Axel Springer, National Media and Tech. And today I'm going to talk about the project that we carried out last year, about how to release the application with just one Slack command. But before, I would like to introduce us. We are a mobile natives team in Axel Springer National Media and Tech, as I said. We are a multinational team with members from Russia, Ukraine, Germany, China, and Spain, myself. We are almost 6 years old already, and we take care of the mobile solutions for Bell, iOS, and Android, which are these two applications, Bell News and Bell Edition. So if you want, you can take a look at our GitHub page, where we have released some open source projects, but also you can download, if you didn't do it, you can download their applications in the App Store and also in the Google Market. Okay, so what did we wanted? We wanted to deploy our applications, that is to release it to in the Apple App Store with just one Slack command. And this project is not only constrained for deploying an application. We can deploy our backend or also an Android application. So why we wanted that? So firstly, we wanted to make easier the life of our QA team and POs. That is summed up in our motto, in the motto of our team. We develop features for our users and tools for our stakeholders. Before this, every time our QA team or our product owners wanted to create a build, they had to come to us, and we have to do it by ourselves. That took time for both of us, right? This way, they can do it directly in Slack. Also now, the process is automatic. So automatic means less errors. Before also, if we do it manually, we could include like a different version number, or we could include a feature that is not there. Right now, I think being automatic, of course, gives less errors. And also, I wanted to have fun and learn new things, like something apart from my day-by-day job, which is implementing features in the client iOS. So I wanted to experiment, for instance, in the server side, as I will talk briefly now. Okay, here you can take a glance, an overall view of the whole process. First we add the Slack command. Slash commands are called in Slack. That invokes an URL that calls a Swift Vapor server application that is hosted in Heroku. Don't worry if you don't know about these terms. I will talk about them very soon. So, okay, this is host. As I said, the server application is hosted in Heroku. And
César, I can still see slide 3. I don't know if that's correct.
You are in slide 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it better?
So it's still slide 3.
Okay. 1 second. 1 second, because I'm already in slide 4.
Yeah, that's why I recognized it while you were talking, that it's not the same slide.
Now is it better?
Now, yeah. Now, perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was something. Okay, so I will start with this slide. Thank you. So as I was saying, here you can have an overall view of the whole process. We send a Slack command which is called a slash command in Slack that invokes an URL that calls a Swift Vapor server application that is hosted in Heroku. And then this calls Travis CI. We trigger a Travis CI request. This is the continuous integration cloud platform. And here, with the help of Fastlane, we will build the application.
Now you are muted, I think.
Sorry. Can you hear me
now you're back.
Something strange is happening with my team. Sorry. Okay, so now I would like to go step by step. Firstly, we have the slash commands. With slash commands, we can introduce a command in Slack and this will invoke an URL that we specify. For that, we have to go to the Slack dashboard, into a Slack dashboard in the dashboard of our work team, of our workspace, and there we have to define firstly a meaningful app command. So it's something that is not taken by another command in the team, and it's not something that is not taken already by the default standard commands from Slack. In our case, we will call it like /apps, which is the prefix that we use normally, minus deploy. Then secondly, we can specify some parameters, like the project, because we have two, like build, news, and edition, the configuration, either like debug or QA or release, and from which branch we want to build. So for instance, it would be something like /-deploy, news, release, develop. Also, so Slack sends a signature header along with the HTTP request. With that, in the server application, we can compare that header, compute it with a secret, and be sure that the request came from Slack. Otherwise, we just fail gracefully and cancel the operation. So as I said before, everything is brought and an URL is invoked. Next. 1 second. I think my presentation is stopped. I'm gonna start again. Okay, you can see now the Swift Vapor slide, right?
Slide 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here you can see how we structure the Swift Vapor server applications. Swift is the language, is a programming language from Apple that is mainly used for development of Mac.
César, it's still the slash command slide.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, good. Just wanted to let you know.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna share again my. Let's see.
Okay, now I see the presentation. So the first, that's the second.
That's the
third,
fourth.
No, still, now it's the 3.
Now you can see the 6th.
No, still the 3rd.
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is share my screen instead of sharing PowerPoint, because I think this is somehow is broken, because for me I can see slide 6.
For someone he says page 6. Okay, for me it's not working, but it's for the rest of you working.
I think it's better if I share
Okay, someone else is saying I see 6 as well. Someone says share the screen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna try again. Okay.
So we learned something new about Teams. I think you shared the presentation with the option. Somebody said that everyone can take over the controls, and possibly somebody clicked, and that's why it went back. So
okay, I think that is
yeah, that could be.
Okay, then I'm gonna share. Let's see. I'm gonna share.
Sorry for the question.
This window, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, we can see it now.
We can see it.
Okay, so I cannot see the notes, but I will go without notes. It's okay. So okay, so this is the server application. Basically, it's written in Swift, which is the Apple programming language. It's mainly used for Mac and iOS development, but it's also a multi-purpose language, as we will see. It also can be used for scripting or it can be used for server applications, like in this case. It uses Vapor, which is a web framework, one of the many web frameworks for Swift. Another one is Kitura from IBM. And so what is this application doing? Of course, the first is it listens to the incoming URL request. Then secondly, it verifies the request. So it takes a signature from Slack, it computes it and checks if it compares with a secret and checks if it came from Slack. If it didn't, we just fail gracefully because we just want to constrain this to only to commands coming from Slack. Then we get the post parameter from the Slack URL, where all the parameters are included. These parameters are, as I mentioned before, the project, the branch, the configuration. And once with all these parameters, we have to create a request to Travis CI. We can check the Travis CI API documentation. And for configuring this request, we need basically two parts. One is a token header to authenticate and to verify, to make sure that we are the ones that own the team. And another one is another post parameter that is a JSON string. For this JSON, we just should follow the Travis convention. We create the JSON parameter, and there we define the branch, the project, and the configuration that we wanted. Once we have everything, we trigger that job, we trigger that request to Travis, and we wait for the response. Once we have the response, if it's successful, we elaborate like a message to Slack, like the one I showed in the previous slide, this one. Otherwise, if we got an error, we just fail gracefully. This server application is hosted in Heroku for this experiment. I chose Heroku because it is very easy. We just have to host our project in a Git repository and add Heroku as a remote. It's super easy. It supports many languages, but also Swift, which is something, let's say, odd, because Swift is new for server developments, and that's why I chose it. And it's free for small projects. For something bigger, it costs money, but for something where we don't need that much traffic, it's free. And that makes it ideal for our experiment, actually. But given that we use AWS Lambda and CDK for our backend in our project, mainly for Bell News, we are planning to move it to there. Maybe we have to change the language, but it's okay. That way, we avoid having a third-party infrastructure there that is too many things to maintain. Okay, so we've seen that we have the / command in Slack. We have the server application. We have it host, so it's running remotely in Heroku. Now we have to do the main things, the core. We have to prepare the application to be signed with the right entitlements for the App Store, and we have to build it. That's happening in our continuous integration platform that is Travis. In Travis, we build it with the help of Fastlane. That is a tool written in Ruby that takes care of triggering the build, the application, the iOS application build, and also Android, and deploy it to the App Store when it is done. Whenever we are finished with that, we thanks to some plugins to Fastlane. This is an open source platform, so it's very well known and contributed. So we have, whenever that's done, we can, thanks to these plugins, as I said, we can notify Slack, like in a channel, like saying, okay, the build is finished, you can download it already. Or Jira, if we have a ticket, we can add a comment and say the version number and the build number. And that's basically the process. Now I would like to talk briefly about the takeaways that I got from while implementing this project. The first would be that / commands are super simple. It's just basically one line, and we just have to define a command, and it works very smoothly. It's convenient because all the members from our team, not only technical, can access to it. We use Slack as the communication point for everything. So everyone have access to that, not only technical, but PR, QA. They all can use it and just add a comment. It's secure. We can ascertain whether the request is coming from Slack or not and fail gracefully. And it's powerful this way because given a server application that you can do everything, the possibilities from this are limitless, right? Other takeaway I got is that working in something new is fun. And I also learned new stuff about how to implement the server application in Swift. That for me was a big privilege. I'm always used to work in Swift, but only in the client. Now I also can do it in the server. I also got knowledge about how to host the server application. That was very interesting for me. So the conclusion was that I shouldn't be afraid to experiment. Even if we don't achieve the goal that we wanted, the outcome is always good because we learn something new. And also that if we have a project with a multi-component project, it's good to go step by step, like dividing the project as I did in 5 clear steps, but always with the end in mind, what they wanted to achieve. So it's more like a Lego figure that you know what you wanted to build, or a puzzle, so we don't get lost into details along each step. And I think that's everything from my side. You can read more about it in our blog, the Axel Springer -tech. I publish it, and also you can visit my Medium or GitHub page if you want to drop me a message. Thank you very much.